Do you like live poetry?
Lately, my life has been feeling like a movie or a fairy tale, a story that begins with once upon a time and ends with happily ever after. Imagine a drama meeting a thriller title, Black Girls Be Happy.
That is Galaxy the Poet. We caught up with Galaxy to hear more about her work, her inspiration, and what she wants Detroiters to feel when they hear her work.
Hey, what's going on? My name is Galaxy, also known as Galaxy the Poet. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. I am a poet, spoken word artist, an author, a teacher, and a lot of other cool things.
What started you with poetry? What made you write your first poem?
Surprisingly, what started me writing poetry was extra credit. So I was in college and I had a poetry class, and the teacher was like, okay, if you go to this open mic, then you'll get extra credit. And so I ended up going to the open mic, and it was like spoken word style. And I was like, oh wait, this might be something I can do. And I was like, wow, this looks really interesting. And I've always been interested in writing, so I kind of just like fell into it.
How old were you when you wrote your first poem? What was it about?
When I wrote my first poem, I think I was like in middle school or high school, and it was like thinking about you is something I always do, like something very much lovey-dovey.
How does the city of Detroit show up in you and your poetry?
I feel like Detroit is ingrained in my body. It's like something I can't get away from, and I don't ever try to get away from. I'm one of those people where as soon as you meet me, you're probably going to find out that I'm from Detroit at some point. I really want to share my story. I want to talk about my childhood. I want to talk about the things I love about the city. I want to just shine a light on our culture and just how much it means to me. So,
What do you hope people take away from your poems?
I hope that people take relatability from my work. I also like to be entertaining and educational at the same time, because I know sometimes it's topics that people don't like to talk about, or situations that people say don't happen sometimes. So I like to be able to speak to my experiences as a Black woman and as a mother, and as, you know, all these hats that I wear. And I hope that people in the audience can feel and see themselves in those stories. I think that we have several different avenues, and people have different ways. Like, everyone has a different way where they get their word out. And sometimes you can't be at the front line, but this is still a way to, you know, speak your mind against the things that need to change. And
Who is your favorite Detroit writer or poet?
my favorite Detroit writer or poet? Okay, I really like Brittany Rogers. I I didn't even realize what I was missing out on. And it just so happens that my company, I work for, Inside Out, we had a big poetry conference, and she was the headliner. And I got to actually get her book and see her perform live. And her poetry just felt like home. Like, I felt so connected to Detroit, and just being a Black woman reading her poetry. So,
And finally, what's your advice to new or aspiring poets in the city?
I think the first step is just to stop worrying about how it's going to sound and just do it. Just put pen to paper. And also, don't be afraid to indulge yourself into the culture of poetry. So you see that everyone has their own different style. And so you don't put yourself into a box and try to be what someone else wants you to be. Because poetry is free, as long as you're putting words on that page, then you're creating. And that's what's the most important.